ApriL Show. Grab a drink. Elliot and ApriL Show.
Hello,
Hi.
our royal lovelies, and welcome back to the Elliot and ApriL Show Podcast.
Yay.
Royal edition.
Oh yes, very royal.
So hopefully you really enjoyed our last royal episode,
Yes.
where we talked lots of different things. Didn't
We did, yes.
I'm
yes,
trying to remember what we actually talked about. It's been a while since we've filmed it.
I can't remember.
I
can't remember
can't.
what we did this morning.
But I think we should run down what we're actually wearing today. So we've got our
Yes.
pearls on.
Pearls on.
There you go. Pearls are on. So these are ApriL's bangle pearls,
Yes.
which I think look very fetching on us. And we have some of my tiaras. So I'm wearing the Greville tiara. You often see this on Queen Camilla. Also, the late Queen Mother used to wear it a lot. And this one is actually a really interesting one because it's the Duchess Augusta tiara. So Duchess Augusta is a relation to the royal family. And Queen Mary, our late Queen's grandmother, modelled the Lover's Knot tiara, the one that I was wearing in last week's episode, and the one that Catherine often wears, on that. So that was Duchess Augusta's. And Queen Mary got jealous, and she wanted a Lover's Knot tiara of her own. So she fashioned the one that we now know.
Yeah.
This is the original Lover's Knot inspiration. And as you can see, it's got pearls on the top.
Yeah.
And it's got dangly pearls. So we are wearing some quite substantial tiaras
we're
today.
rocking it
we are,
today.
and this one, I just love the sort of honeycomb
like the
design
twinkly.
of it. Yeah, hopefully we're glistening and
you twinkle and I dangle.
we are some sparkle in a sea of darkness of royal myrrh and
royal
Harry and Meghan
debauchery,
depression, all the D words.
Yes.
My goodness, I've been sick and fed up of Harry and Meghan this week. I really have.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, timer,
yes. It's on.
Yes. So we've got an hour to chat to you guys. So Harry and Meghan have just been depressing me. Have they been depressing you?
Yes. They're just so greedy.
They are greedy.
Very greedy.
They're greedy for money.
Yes.
They're greedy for fame.
And all of that.
Yeah. Attention.
Attention. Absolutely.
And I just think there's lots of things coming out in the press that they've instigated about forgiveness. And I mean, did you see the story? I've got all my notes written down. Did you see the story where apparently Meghan wants Harry, she's apparently pushing Harry to forgive his father for, all the things that the Sussexes feel that they have been wronged about.
I think it should be the other way around.
That's what I mean. I made a video on this a few days ago, and all the comments were coming back saying it should be the other way around.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, he is just where do I start? Where do we start?
Choose a point and let's go from there.
He's just been acting like an awful brat.
Spoiled,
rotten brat that's been fueled by Meghan.
Oh yeah, she's catalyst.
Fueled it.
She's the catalyst in all of this. Because although I think he was very unhappy before he met Meghan, everything was kept under control.
Yeah.
He had his family around him. He had, a good working job that he was, because of course do you remember the strip poker thing when he was in, I think, he was on holiday in the US and he got caught doing strip poker, and there was naked pictures out there of him. They're still on the internet. You can still have a look if you want to. Just Google Prince Harry strip poker nude and see what comes up. See what comes up. But on the back of that, he turned his life around. And in public, at least, it seemed like he was making a comeback. He set up, the Invictus Games with the Royal Foundation.
He's been taken off that, isn't he?
Well, there's talk, but it hasn't been official. I think he should be taken off it.
Yeah.
Because of,
He's not...
Well, he's bringing disrepute to it. And he's trying to use it as his own platform.
To promote himself.
Did you watch the Invictus Netflix thing that he made?
No.
I didn't either. I won't watch anything that he makes.
I won't. No.
Because apparently he was exploiting the Invictus Games warriors, the competitors, because the Netflix show is his paid show.
Right.
So he gets paid money for that. That was Archewell Productions.
Yeah.
So none of that money goes to charity, and yet he was not paying them anything, and he was getting the money for it, exploiting them. I just think that was just
that is wrong. It is wrong for him to do that, to exploit anything like that that has been set up.
Yeah.
Just everything is for their own gain.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like when he said about, I think it was in the Oprah interview about, his brother's still in the,
I know what you mean.
firm, in the institution.
Yeah.
And that. Well, you've grown up with that. You should know better.
Yeah.
That's not just your family, but that is who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
it's a life and a job,
a lifestyle,
all rolled into one. And actually, although they might, it's kind of imposed on them, isn't it? But they're brought up into it. But
so you shouldn't know any different.
But
really.
how lucky they are, really, to be able to help their country and do really good work, and they haven't got to, they haven't got to go out there and think, oh, I could be sacked at this point, or I could have this taken away or that taken away. They can just concentrate.
They've got to worry about, feeding hand to mouth bills, and
they can just concentrate on charities, helping people. And there's something to be said for that, although it might not be what they would have chosen to have done, perhaps. But it's it's secure, it's constant, and it's
I mean, nobody's happy with what they're doing half the time anyway.
No.
We all have times when we're like, oh, really?
You might fancy a change or whatever.
Yeah. But that is who you are.
Yeah. It's their
You're
identity.
brought up in that
with immense privilege
and
wealth.
Absolutely.
And then he's just
thrown it in their faces.
Yeah, I think it's disgusting. And then for Meghan to be trying to get him to reconcile with bits, they've run out of money. That's the whole
it's all about the money.
It's all about the pennies, all about the Megsy pennies. Do the jiggles, woo, do the shimmy, woo.
Jiggle me pearl.
She'll be jiggling her chi-chis and she'll be showing a little cho-cho to get some pennies.
She'll be back on them yachts, being an escort.
Oh yes,
little madam.
What have you heard about that?
Oh yes, well, there's photographic evidence that years back she was on a yacht. She was a yacht girl. Yacht girl. Where naughty Prince Andrew was on a yacht as well, and there's photographs with them together.
Really?
And she's denying it.
Oh.
And Harry's like, I'm going to sue anyone that reports anything. I should do a bit of a. I'm going to sue anyone that says otherwise.
You need a bit more bluster.
A bit more. Ooh. I can't. I'll get better. Or worse.
No. Oh, he'd sue anyone, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would. Yeah.
But he makes a full-time occupation of suing people these days.
I mean, I can understand why. Many years ago, Prince William, sued the papers because that was it their honeymoon or not long after
they were
or something,
France
and they were invaded.
Or Italy, and they were packed at a very long-range camera, and she was topless.
Yes, I mean that. Yes, I totally get it. Do it, but Harry is just gonna.
Oh, and can I point out as well that wasn't the British photographers, and it wasn't printed in British publications. It was foreign.
Yeah. So that, fair enough, I get. But Harry is just using that all the time. It's like change the record, Harry.
Retribution, vindictive. And it's just not doing his own PR any good. And I think this is what Meghan has finally clocked onto. It's like, it hasn't worked.
No.
And we're not getting the sponsorship deals.
Shot themselves in the foot there.
Drying up. We've lost Spotify. Netflix is looking likely not to renew its contract.
Yeah. Did they really think that going against the royals in a way of telling all these awful stories that the British public, especially, are going to accept that.
That's the issue, because they thought that they are now global, and they thought the American market is so big.
Americans are getting fed up of them.
Harry and Meghan didn't care what the British people think.
No.
Turned their backs completely. What they failed to realise was that everyone else has the same attitude towards them as what we British do. And that is that people have just had enough. They don't want to see them slagging off their families and making money off the backs of it.
No.
It's just... and Megzy baby has realised this, I think.
Morally wrong.
Yeah, they are
morally wrong.
If morals were halos, it would be round her ankles like her knickers on that yacht. On the deck.
Like the elastic.
Her knickers hit the deck as soon as she stepped on.
Oh, yes. She was tripping up over them.
Tripping up over her knickers.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you reckon she's got bloomers? No. I reckon they're beige.
Oh yeah, they'd have to be beige or chewing gum grey. Chewing gum grey.
I think she's got days of the week
because they've been up and down that many times.
They've been up and down more than an elevator, I tell you.
Yes.
So
she uses them for sales on the yachts. I'll put these up here. They'll do, love.
I mean, they're big enough, are they? Well, not with those chicken legs.
Oh, no. I mean,
but she's so proud of her legs, isn't she?
Yeah.
And her clavicles.
They do look like they're going to snap. Them legs are going to snap.
They do. She's
going to get off an airplane one of these days and they're just going to snap.
She needs a good burger. That's what she needs.
Yeah, she's
a tortilla wrap.
One of them and all.
But yeah, I think Megzy Baby has clocked on that projects are not going to be renewed.
No.
She's only got really a year to try and turn things around.
Yeah, because she thought she was a global superstar.
Yeah.
And then marrying in the royal, she was going to put it all together. They were going to do their own thing, promote this, that, and the other. The world's, let's put the world to rights.
The thing is, they have been gaslit themselves by their own fans. The Sussex squad, all their supporters, have made them believe that everyone else feels the same way, that there's lots of support for them. It's just a small minority of three people. It's 3 people that shout very loud on Twitter or X, whatever it's called.
Or whatever it's called.
And they failed to realise that most people just look at them and think, we've just had enough.
You again.
I mean, they're good to gossip about. Because,
it gives us. And everybody likes a good little gossip. And
we do love a bit of a gossip. And at the moment, they thought that by moving away, they wouldn't be tabloid fodder anymore. But it's not gone away.
No, but they're making it that way, though, aren't they? They're going like, we want to move to America because we want a quiet life. We want the press to leave us alone. What are they doing? They're going to Colombia. They're doing
Nigeria.
This. They're on TV. They're doing the Oprah, which Oprah's suing them.
Is she? What is she suing
Apparently
them?
so. For that interview, because Oprah hasn't had any work since that interview.
Is it like
so they've ruined Oprah's career? But I'm 50-50 with that. Oprah shouldn't. Some of the questions she shouldn't have. She sort of opened it up.
Oprah is a very experienced journalist. She knows what she was doing. She was hoping to get a big, successful interview, which she got. She did get that, and she, had a lot of money for that, so she was paid well for it. But you've got to realise who you align yourself with has consequences. And if people are now going against Oprah because of her alliance, or you know what I mean,
with the going along with it,
then that's her own
doing.
And of course, Oprah wanted a big interview with Diana back in the day.
Oh, did she?
Diana turned her down and went with Martin Bashir with the Panorama.
She'd have been better off going with Oprah, to be fair.
I think. I mean, to be honest, Sarah Ferguson has done a few Oprah interviews in her time, and it's always gone well for Sarah because she's got the gift of the gab.
Yes.
And I've always said Sarah can be quite humble. She makes mistakes,
and she owns them. She owns them. Fair play to her. She owns her mistakes.
Yes, and she goes, and she basically grovels and says apologises and whatever. and it's always gone well for her. And I think that's what Prince Andrew, with the Emily Maitlis interview, he was hoping it would go the same way. The problem with Andrew is he's not humble. He's not demure.
No, he's quite arrogant.
He does come across that way.
Very
self-assured, and I've done nothing wrong. And, you know, he needed, in that interview, he would have been better to have just gone,
messed up, whatever, blah. Yeah.
You know, and feels sorry for what he's done, and, you know, whatever. And he didn't.
Yeah, but you've got some news about how Andrew's residency.
Oh, the Royal Lodge. I mean, this is a story that's been rumbling on for years now. Ever since, you know, Prince Andrew sort of was forcibly stepped back from royal duties. His sort of all the trappings of royalty, the protection, the homes, all of that kind of stuff has been under question, because why should he have all this stuff if he's not doing the work? Even though he didn't choose not to do the work, it was forced on him, really.
Yeah.
Officially, he offered to step back, but really he was pushed.
Yeah.
We all know. He was
I offered to be.
Yeah.
No.
So there he is, rattling around in this £30 million mansion.
Fergie lives there as well, doesn't she?
Yeah. She's lived there for a long time now. And of course, he had it when the Queen Mother passed away. He paid £1 million up front for the lease. Then I think he pays like a peppercorn rent of like £250 a year. But he spent £7 million on it. I know, a bit cheap. But he spent £7 million on it, doing it up. And I think he has to take care of the maintenance. Yeah. And I think it needs more work doing now. So the king has apparently cut his funds. So I think the king was still giving him an allowance. And he's also cut the money he was spending on private protection, because Andrew lost his public protection. The same as Harry.
Oh, right, yeah.
So people can't claim double standards.
No.
Because Harry lost his for not being a working royal.
Yeah.
Andrew lost his, but the king was paying privately.
Oh.
So, I mean, I wonder how much money the king is giving Harry. Do you think he's giving him money?
It does make you wonder. I think he is.
Yeah, and like when they paid back Frogmore Cottage. Well, was it them or was it the king? As Prince of Wales as he was back then. Maybe it was Daddy's money.
Could have been. Because they spent a lot of money on that place, doing it up to
2.4 million.
standards. 2.4 million, doing it up for Meghan's standards.
Yeah. And then I think
they chucked a lot of antique furniture. I bet it went in the skip.
They didn't spend long there. So they paid that back, or rather, maybe the king did. Yeah. So Andrew's got this massive mansion, 75-year lease. So apparently it's a watertight lease, so they can't force him out.
Right.
But I think the king's trying to sort of almost like flush him out. Is
it because the king wants what's his name? The other one.
Oh, William.
Edward's
already got a massive mansion.
So it's not that he wants Andrew to move out so Edward and Sophie can have it.
No, definitely not. They've got Bagshot Park that is pretty much the same way that Andrew got Royal Lodge. Edward paid money up front and then renovated Bagshot. So that's on a long lease. So he's sorted it. Have you seen a picture of it? I'll show you after. It's huge.
Massive.
It's sprawling. So he's sorted.
I'd get lost in there. I'd have to have a walkie-talkie. What room am I in? I don't know.
But Edward and Sophie are very...
Just went to get to the bread out the fridge.
You need it. Just go around. But Edward and Sophie are very low-key.
Yes,
I
like them.
They're demure.
And I do. I mean, I think Sophie's so lovely.
Flies.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
She is. She's lovely. And because I noticed many years back, she has a very similar look to Diana.
Yeah.
They were very similar. Yeah. I thought, that's quite a...
In the hair.
Their brothers and their wives are very similar.
Yeah, I think Diana would probably, if she'd have been alive today, bless her, I think she would have looked quite similar to Sophie, even today. Yeah, I think
so. Yeah,
but we've gone off the Andrew.
It's just the Andrew thing. Yes.
So I think I think the king's trying to flush him out slowly by cutting his funds, cutting the security.
Right.
So has Andrew got enough money to pay for Royal Lodge? But I think more likely the king possibly wants William and Catherine to go into Royal Lodge because it's a lot bigger than where they're at Adelaide Cottage.
Yeah.
Which is not too far away.
Yeah. I thought they were at...
They've got lots of homes.
Oh, have they got...
They've got...
I thought they were in like the apartment in...
They've still got that. Kensington Palace, they've still got that. But they don't use that as much anymore.
Yeah.
They split their time. Well, they're mostly at Adelaide Cottage because that's where the schools are for kids.
Yeah. Can't they just build an extension on it? Put a nice big conservatory on the back of it. That will give them a bit more room.
It's got another building next to it that's not renovated. So they could renovate. It's almost like two houses next door to each other.
Yeah.
But they haven't. I don't think it's been renovated. So they could do that. And then they've got Anne Hall in Norfolk. The late Queen gave them that.
Yeah.
That's part of the...
They've got somewhere in Anglesey as well, haven't they?
No, they used to live in Anglesey when they were first together, when he was training for a search and rescue pilot.
Training his choppers.
They've got a Welsh place that used to belong to the King as Prince of Wales. So as the Duchy of Cornwall, they get to use that. And I think they've got somewhere up in Balmoral as well. They've got a cottage up there that was like a wedding present. So they're not short. So
they're not. Yeah, they're not homeless.
Houses.
They're not homeless.
No, they're not homeless. But they could do maybe with an upgrade in Windsor.
Yeah.
So but that's up to
and
Andrew.
Considering that place that Andrew's got is massive. He, like you say, it just makes sense because there's only him and Fergie there.
It is too big. Yeah.
He moves into the Frogmore Cottage, which sounds lovely.
Yeah.
I'd be quite happy to live in Frogmore. I could do Frogmore. I could do Frogmore Cottage, darling. Yes. I'm like, come
That's
on.
Another thing I think that Meghan wanted. She didn't want really the cottage. She thought she was getting the Frogmore house. See, the cottage and the house are very close to each other.
Right.
But Frogmore House is huge and it's used by the royal family for like private functions and parties, that kind of thing. I think Harry and Meghan had their wedding reception at Frogmore House. So I think she thought she was getting the house and she was only offered the cottage.
She had ideas above her station.
She did. She thought there was more money. And
I'm surprised she didn't kick off and say, I want Kensington Palace all to myself.
I think she probably would have wanted the apartment that was next door to William and Catherine. I think Harry didn't want to live next to his brother because they were having all their little spats.
Brothers always argue, fight, whatever. I mean, let it go, Harry.
But there's no way Meghan would have turned down a home at a palace.
No, she wouldn't have.
No way. So I think that was Harry.
Yeah.
But also, maybe she didn't want to sort of... I think she's so jealous of Catherine.
Oh,
and the way that the two ladies operate is very different. So we've got Meghan is very brash, loud, not demure.
No, she's no Demi Moore.
No, she's not a shrinking wallflower, is she?
No,
she's not.
She's out there playing the victim.
Oh yes, all the acting.
I have nothing. I have nothing, darling.
I have nothing. I have no one.
She'll be like that. She carries on, playing it up.
She does play it up. And then you got Catherine, who is actually very demure, sweet. She's taking her time to get to grips with her royal role. That's nothing. Meghan was too impatient.
Oh, she was like, well, I'm a diva anyway, so I can do this.
Yeah, I mean, she thought, I can do this straight off the bat. And she didn't take time to learn. I think Princess Anne advised her, take your time, get to know your charities. And she was just like,
she was like, well, I know everything. I know everything. Nothing you can tell me.
And she wanted to change things. She wanted to change the way that things were done, and that's not done.
It's like with the children saying that she wanted him to be Prince Archie.
Oh yes.
And they weren't, but they are now because the Queen's died.
Yeah, because they are now
their granddad is so, and she was kicking off about that. Did nobody explain, or if they did explain it to her?
But they should know. Harry should know.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
And she was on TV, gobbing off about it.
Yeah. Well, if they'd have just waited, it would have happened anyway. Yeah. And that was another thing as well, because they took up the usage of Prince and Princess for Archie and Lilibet without informing the palace first.
Yes.
The palace was on the back foot with that. They had to scramble around and change all things on the website and whatever. And it was Harry and Meghan's right to just use it whenever they wanted, but they should have really informed the palace they were going to do so first.
There's protocol to go through.
There is. Yeah. I mean, it's the same with Lady Louise and James, Earl of Wessex, the Edinburgh's children. They are technically Prince and Princess.
Yeah.
All they've got to do is start using it. They haven't got to apply for it or anything like that. They've just got to start using it. But you'd imagine that they would inform the palace that we're going to start using it. And Harry and Meghan didn't do that, did they?
They think they can do what they want.
They do, and that is the problem, because they can't. And they've got to be held accountable.
No, I think we need to go over and tell them. We need to go.
I would love to give a proper interview to Harry and Meghan, not one of these fan puff pieces where they control the narrative and they have all the questions all pre-agreed.
Our own questions.
I would like to see them pushed, because they give answers, and I have never seen an interviewer dig deeper
into the answer. Yes.
Yeah, and actually really hold them accountable. To what they're saying.
And they skirt round everything. They give what I call a politician's answer.
They do.
Which is a lot of words
that
salad. Mean nothing. Yeah, word salad. Yeah.
You know who I'd love to see interview them? Piers Morgan.
Oh, I love Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan would be the perfect person to interview.
Well, she tried to get him.
Well, she did. She
got him banned or something, or
she
kicked off.
Instigated ITV getting him off the breakfast show.
But
because she complained.
It's got nothing to do with her.
Nothing to do.
Nothing to do with her.
It just goes to show how bothered she is by it all. She really does. Petty. I think she sits there on her phone.
Yeah, goes.
She Googles herself.
Yes, and look in and go, right, who's a threat to me?
Yeah.
You're fired. You're fired.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she.
When actually nobody is. She's just a threat to herself.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think, Harry is.
And going back to what I said at the start, I think that's what she's realised. So she knows that the way to keep their brand Sussex going is to get back in with the royal family.
Yeah.
But they don't want to lose face.
No.
They want it to look like the king is forgiving them.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
And it's wrong.
It's what she's always wanted. She's always wanted an apology from them. But it should be the other way around.
I'd say, well, my apology to you, love, is I'm sorry, but you're in the royal family. That's the worst thing that could have happened.
Do you think the king should take away their titles?
Yes. You can't with Harry, because obviously he's born royal, if that makes sense.
I think
he's his son, but she should just be
like Wallis Simpson, because they didn't allow Wallis to have Duchess.
No, and
or
she
HRH.
And Meghan should not have Duchess or HRH.
It should be stripped.
Stripped
from her.
Gone.
I think Harry, his place in the line of succession. I think the minute you start picking and choosing who's in it, it becomes like Big Brother.
Oh yeah.
And then you may as well have a president.
It's like just
what I mean?
Pick a name. Yeah.
But I think the king can take away his dukedom.
Oh.
So perhaps they should be stripped of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and the HRH could go as well.
Yeah.
But he could keep his place in the line of succession. I know a lot of viewers, royal watchers, want everything completely gone. But like I said, I think you have to be protective of the institution of the monarchy.
Because he is born prince, so...
Yeah, and the whole point of a hereditary monarchy is that you can't pick and choose who you get.
Exactly.
Because people back in the day weren't very fond of Anne Boleyn when Henry VIII married her.
She was a bit of a Meghan Markle. She was a bit of a tearaway. She wasn't she? She's a little bit of a madam.
Well, I mean, she obviously upset the whole apple cart, didn't she?
Because it was her brother or her uncle?
Brother
That got her to marry.
No, that was her uncle.
That was her uncle, wasn't it? To get her to marry Henry, because he wanted to further himself in the position and the role that he was doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, off you go.
Yeah. But
get and marry him.
She wasn't liked, and certain people didn't like Henry for, getting rid of the Catholic Church and whatever. But yet you have who you're lumped with. That is a hereditary monarchy. Just because they're not popular, doesn't, you can't just vote them out. Yeah. You can get an army and try and overthrow them, but but
you can't do that. Yeah. And Henry VIII wasn't a very nice man anyway, was he?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
so they say.
I think when he was younger,
he was a little bugger.
Oh yes, I think he was quite handsome when he was younger, by all accounts. When you read the history books, he was quite a looker. Yeah. I think as he got older and he got larger and he had an ulcerated leg.
Oh, he did. That's what killed him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like poison or sepsis or something.
Yeah, I think he had, and he was grossly overweight. Yeah. Whatever. I think there was even talk he may have had syphilis.
Oh, he's probably had all sorts.
Yeah, so he didn't have good health towards the end of his life. But in his younger days he was quite a catch, really.
Little bugger.
Yes, I think if I'd have been a royal lady at court,
I
would have been after him.
It would have been Henry VIII and his one wife.
Did you say I'd have the Meghan claw out?
It would have been that. Oh, Henry.
Did you see Henry's codpiece? Have you been to Tower of London?
Massive. No, but I have seen pictures. I think he was.
Yes. He was trying to impress, wasn't he? Yeah. Trying to show off with his... Yeah. And that's a bit like what Harry and Meghan
in his dreams, really,
They're sort of... they're peacocking.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they're sort of doing. So I covered what I was going to talk about, because Harry obviously wants... but yes, King Charles was also looking at forgiveness. He had spiritual leaders talking to him. And they've apparently been advising that forgiveness is a thing. So we've got, on the one hand, Meghan trying to get Harry to forgive the king, and then spiritual advisors trying to get the king to forgive them. So what's going on? What is going on?
I think Meghan needs to eat a ton-load of humble pie.
Yes.
And really grovel.
But forgiveness...
And then if I was king, I'd say, right, off with the red.
Send it to the tower.
To the tower. Off with the red.
But, and this is nothing loads of people were saying in the comments of my other video, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting.
No, you can forgive, but you can't forget.
And I think the trust is broken. So even if there was forgiveness and apologies from whatever side, the trust has still got to be built.
I think it would just be cordial.
Yeah. And I don't think Harry should be allowed back into full-time working royal duties. I think that ship has sailed. And even if the king forgave him that way, William, I think, is fuming. I think he's fuming.
William,
Wait until William's king. What do you think William will do when he's king?
Off with his head.
Well, I don't.
The tower.
I think there is decades worth of trust that needs building back.
And I think as they were growing up, that William, obviously older brother, used to, look after Harry, make sure he was all right.
Yeah, Harry forgets all this.
Harry had all of that, whereas William didn't, to an extent.
Yeah, William was the one in front, wasn't
he? Was the one that was
leading the way.
Yeah, holding things together.
Yeah.
And I know, Charles did his best, and I know the Queen, bless her.
Yeah.
She was marvellous with them boys.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely marvellous. And then I think it took Prince Charles quite a time to get into that loving dad role, because of the way that he was brought up.
He wasn't with outwardly touchy-feely like Diana.
Yeah. And I think it took him a long time to do that. And now obviously he's got it. It's great with them grandkids.
But also the press didn't used to show the affection from him, because there was that famous picture of on Royal Yacht Britannia, Diana embracing the boys when they were running.
Yes.
But what they didn't show was there was also Charles there doing the same
Oh,
thing,
was he?
and they didn't show that. It was all Diana because she was glamorous, and she was glamorous, she was gorgeous, and she was, you know, the tabloid
princess,
darling, wasn't she? And Charles sort of wasn't, and that pushed his nose out of joint. I think that was something that was explored in The Crown. This sort of that Diana was the one with all the limelight. Yeah,
and whenever they went to functions or anything, they were all for Diana, not him. So it wasn't her fault.
No, but he should have worked with her and seen themselves as a team, and that you know, like, your partner's success is also your success. Yeah, it's like if you know, if Matt gets a promotion and does well at work or whatever. Yeah, I see that as, you know, we're doing well. Yeah. That's you know, I'm proud of my partner for doing well, and it's the same way the other way around. If I do something that's a success, it's both of our success. We're a team, and that's what Diana and Charles didn't really do. And I don't think Harry and Meghan necessarily look at things that way. No. All for themselves, isn't it? Yeah. And I think they're trying to do like different projects. Like, she's got this American Riviera orchard that we've seen head nor tail of. No. With the jam and the dog biscuits and the cooking show. And then he's sort of, well, what has he done? He's done Spare. What else has he done? He's got his Invictus. That's pretty much set up and good to go. He doesn't do much for it. He just turns up as a figurehead, really, doesn't he? Gets all the glory. But what is he actually doing? Yeah. Following Meghan, like a little puppy on a lead. Ooh, but like, you know, he hasn't got brand endorsements, and they could have had all this if they'd have just quietly moved away and gone on. Yeah, that's what they said they wanted to do, but they already had plans. It's never going to happen. They had plans, and it's all backfired on them. That's the whole premise of it. Right, should we move on from Harry and Meghan? Yes. Lady Louise Windsor, we'll go back to the Edinburghs. There are reports that she has shown an interest when she finishes university, which isn't for a bit, of going into the military, into the army. I don't know which bit of armed forces, because obviously we've got the Air Force, we've got the Navy. The Army. Is there another one? No. That's it. So there's 3. Or is she going to do like what the males do and sort of have a little bit of a time in each? In and out. So I don't know which one. Don't know. Because her late Majesty, I've got it written down, she was in the ATS in 1945. She was driving the trucks, and I think she did a bit of mechanics as well. Yes, yeah. So it was towards the end of the war, 1945. They'd have sent me out in the tater fields, picking potatoes up. I was saying, I don't think I'd have been any use in the frontline services. No, I'm more entertaining the troops. Yeah, entertaining the troops. That's a little bit more. Yeah, you could have been the Vera Lynn. Not Vera Duckworth. Not Vera. Coronation Street. Oh, Jack. No, but I think been Vera Lynn. But I'm proud if that is true, because obviously we don't know if that story is true. But you know, sources are saying that she wants to go into the military. So I think that's good. But also, it shows the changing attitudes towards women in the royal family and the armed forces. I mean, Princess Anne, she's amazing. She would have been so good in the military. And I just think she's just an amazing human being. I love Princess Anne. Yeah, she's brilliant, and I'm sure she would have put Meghan and Harry up straight a couple of times. See, that's another thing. She didn't mince her words. She's like a dad, Prince Philip. Loved him as well. Yeah, and I think Meghan knew that the rest of the family were not swallowing her BS, shall we say. Yes. Princess Anne would have seen straight through her. Absolutely. And I imagine she would have been advising other family members to give them the short, sharp shrift. And sort of keep the distance. Give them the royal salute. The royal middle-fingered salute. You just imagine her, can't you? But Princess Anne just gets on with life. Yeah. Did you know that she was injured by a horse?
Yes, she did. Was it concussion or something?
Yeah.
Knocked her out. Knocked her
We
quite
think she was
bad,
kicked,
didn't it?
but she can't remember exactly what happened.
Oh,
So it knocked her out. Yeah, gave her concussion, and I think
bad.
she's back to normal now.
To being kicked by a horse.
Yes, I wouldn't fancy that. To be quite honest,
it's bad enough when they nudge you with their heads and they give you a nudge and they knock you flying.
And it's quite unusual because she's an experienced horse woman, isn't she?
Yeah.
So she knows the stuff about where to stand with horses and whatever.
Must have been one of them like really not spooky.
One
like of them.
They've been spooked or something happened.
Yeah, incidents that
made them just go a little bit crazy. Yeah. But Lady Louise, I think I've got high hopes for her. I hope that one day she will be brought into the royal fold.
Yeah. Because it is thinning out, isn't it?
Ooh,
we haven't got many left.
Yes, I think I got rid of it. Was the Duke of Gloucester's 80th birthday.
Right.
Recently. So happy birthday,
Happy
Dukey.
birthday.
Dukey G.
Dukey
G. Happy birthday. So yeah, it's got me thinking about the future of the world. All the Queen's cousins are sort of
dying off, aren't they?
Well, they're getting old themselves.
Yeah.
And or not working as much as what they were.
Yeah, because we'll only really have
got King and Queen.
Yeah, we've got King and
William and Catherine, but Catherine's out of action
at the minute.
And, Princess Anne, Edward and
Sophie, because they've stepped up, haven't they?
I mean, and I'm not going to count the rest of the Queen's cousins because they are tapering off their workload. Yeah. So really,
they'll have to. You know what? They'll have to employ us.
We could do it. I can turn up at events.
We're prepped and ready.
And we'll do it better than Meghan.
Prepped and ready. Can't do me royal wave. I look like I'm doing a duck impression.
We'll have to do speeches as well and all the rest of it. So I think, what do you think about Beatrice and Eugenie coming in to do royal duties? What are your thoughts on those?
Well,
you're not a Beatrice and Eugenie fan.
I've got nothing against them. They might be okay. I mean, they've been out of it for quite a long time, haven't they? Yeah. Obviously, having babies, getting married and all that, fine. Run around the house with a penny, cooking tea. But give them a go. I'd say give them a go.
Yeah, I know a lot of people think that Princess Eugenie, in particular, is feeds things back to Harry and Meghan.
Oh.
Because she's still quite close to them, we think. You don't really hear much about Beatrice.
No.
Sort of having much to do with them.
No.
But Princess Eugenie has been over there a few times.
Oh,
I think she stayed with them. So we don't know whether or not.
Maybe not her then.
Well,
I
don't know.
But there again, if she's going and telling them this, that, and the other, then so what?
Yeah, I mean, it only comes back and hits Harry and Meghan 10 times as hard in the face.
Yeah.
Whenever they release something, and it's laughable the way that Meghan tries to upstage the royals. Like, if something big is coming up, she'll try and get something out beforehand to try and take the attention away. And
I want to get in there first.
But it's just laughable and predictable.
Yeah. How would you say it in American accent? I want to get in there first. Oh, y'all.
I'm not even going to try the American accent. But no, she's...
Yeah.
Oh, Harry. Oh, Harry.
Harry.
Oh, Harry.
Oh, Harry.
Catherine's
sounds like you're saying, oh, Harry.
Oh, Harry.
Harry.
Catherine's going to be at Troop in the Colour. I need to get my dog biscuits out. So. And she tried to upstage. I think it was. She tried to upstage Catherine at Troop in the Colour with dog biscuits.
Yes.
It was ridiculous. Stupid.
Catherine doesn't like dog biscuits.
No. I bet she makes them for Harry. A little lapdog.
Feeds them,
a lapdog puppy.
That's why she made them.
They're Harry's biscuits.
Harry, don't try my biscuits.
Woo, shimmy, shimmy.
Oh,
have my biscuits.
I'll try my biscuits.
Have my this biscuit's called Linda. This biscuit's called Tina. This is Tina and this is Michelle. Eat my biscuits. Woo.
Say where the jam is.
Oh, strawberry jam.
Mucky.
But you taste my strawberry jam. Woo! Buy it now. Strawberry jam. Do-do-do-do.
With a basket of lemons.
Oh, bitter lemons.
Oh,
bitter and
shocking
sour.
lemons.
Sour like her heart. My goodness.
Very much so.
Oh.
Talking of Princess Anne, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because many years ago, she went out with Andrew Parker Bowles, who ended up being Camilla's first husband. Yeah. So Camilla she did actually steal him from Princess Anne.
Yeah, I mean, I think that whole I don't think Princess Anne cares anymore.
No, she's got that lovely bloke now, hasn't she? I don't know what his name
Timothy
is.
Lawrence.
Timothy Lawrence.
He's always there, quiet,
always
demure.
Yes, there.
Yeah, on her
for
arm.
her to fall back on.
Yeah, I mean,
supporting her.
He stepped up a little. You see him more at the engagements with Princess Anne.
Yeah, you never used to, did you?
No. So I think he's doing a bit more. So I think he's sort of supporting a bit more that way. What do you think about Zara and Mike Tyndall?
Oh, I love them.
I
think they're brilliant.
I'd like to see them as working royals. Give them a title.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Give them a really good title and let them do their thing.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Princess Anne, I think she did play it well because she decided not to give them a title. Because I think the Queen offered to give them something because they weren't automatically entitled to it because of Princess Anne being a daughter. Yeah. So they weren't. Her children couldn't have Peter and Zara couldn't automatically have royal titles.
But, they were offered, weren't they?
And Princess Anne said no. And so now they're earning millions with endorsement deals and that kind of thing, which is kind of how Harry and Meghan should have played it, I think. I'm just saying.
Mr. Trick there.
Just saying. But would they want to give up what they're making career-wise to do royal duties? I don't know. I think they'd be good at royal duties.
Oh yeah, they would. Yeah,
especially really Mike. I mean, he's very
and he's just they're just so like lovable and approachable and down to earth.
Have you seen when they go to the races? He takes her hats and puts them on.
Yeah,
I like that. I think it's really good. So I'd like to see them. I'd like to see Beatrice and Eugenie, and eventually I'd like to see Lady Louise Windsor and James, her brother.
Yes.
I don't know what I feel about Peter Phillips because you don't see much of him. So
no, he's a bit of like where's he gone?
There was a little scandal where I think he did a milk advert in China or something.
I thought you were going to say milk a cow.
No, he did a promotional milk thing in China and used his royal connection, and that caused a bit of a scandal. So he sort of stopped doing that. But other than that, he's quite quiet on the dance. So I can't picture him doing the royal duties. But if you offer it to Zara, you can't really not offer it to him as well, really. I mean, you could.
I suppose you could. You can say, right, you haven't been on the scene. Nobody knows who you are. So we're going to have your sister
and
to
Mike.
do royal and Mike to do royal.
Because there's going to be a big gap in between when George, Charlotte and Louis are actually going to start royal duties. There's going to be a huge gap where there will be no Queen's cousins on the scene, and it will just be a very strict. It's going to be like 15, 20
years.
We
could fill the gap. We could fill the gap. It's not a problem. Here. We've got the pearls. We've got the tiaras.
No, but
we can fill the gap. We can cut ribbons.
Oh, I can cut a ribbon. I can turn up at the opening of hospitals.
Oh, I can turn up the opening of an envelope.
Good.
We're there.
We are oven ready royals. Yes. But no, there is going to be a big gap in between. And, who's going to fill it? So I think eventually the king will need to get some people in.
Yeah.
And like I say, the people that I think that they could pick from is Zara and Mike, Beatrice and Eugenie, and eventually Lady Louise and James, Earl of Wessex.
Yeah, because there's
no one else.
No one else.
And will Catherine ever return to full royal duties?
I hope so.
I hope she does. I think this...
Because we haven't heard a lot of...
No, I think the cancer battle is still going on, and I think it's going to take a while to get over
Very scary. So obviously William's got all this to worry about.
Yeah.
And then you've got that little so-and-so in America.
Whining,
and whinging. Oh, he had a fight with me and he threw me on the floor.
In a dog bowl.
And I ended up in the dog bowl. Well, Meghan, make some dog biscuits, put in that bowl, will you?
Oh, do you reckon he's one of these men that wear the dog masks? Do you reckon that you see there's all this have you heard all the pegging stories about William? So the Sussex squad, we think they started these rumours that Catherine likes to peg William. Have you heard it? Do you know what pegging is? Yeah. Well, apparently she likes to do it to him, but I don't believe it. I think this is just a load of hogwash. Sussex
balderdash, darling. Am I allowed to say that without getting flagged?
Balderdash. No, it's Sussex bluster. That's what it is.
It's just rubbish.
And then there was
rubbish. And then it was supposed to have Willie was supposed to have had a mistress. I don't believe that either.
With a lady called Rose.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either. I think it's all it's all originated from the Sussex squad to try and discredit William and Catherine and try and make. And
then you get the odd one or two that will make these allegations that it was them just for fame, money.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. And the Sussex squad are very good at coming up with. They try because there
fabrication.
Because there isn't anything for people to pick on the working royals for. They try and invent things and create them.
Yeah.
What do you think of Prince William's beard? His holiday look?
Oh, I think it looks all right.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think he looks quite hot with
quite
the beard.
Rugged.
I hope he keeps it.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like Ben Fogle.
Yeah, he does.
Ben Fogle, because him and Ben Fogle are mates, they're pals.
I think they're similar age as well.
Quite a while. Yeah. No, and I think it looks nice on him.
I like him with the beard. I think he should keep it.
Yeah.
I think he should completely shave his head bald. Completely just get rid of all of his hair. And then have a beard.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good look. A good strong look. And apparently he doesn't like to wear kilts. Either, but I'd like to see
drafty.
I'd like to see a bit of Big Willie's royal leg.
Oh,
would you like to see some of Big Willie's royal leg?
I've never thought about it.
I would, because there is pictures of him in his swimming.
You only see the knees anyway, because they've got them big thick socks up to the knee.
Yeah, unless
it's a short one.
Unless you're the late Duke of Edinburgh, there are pictures of an up kilt picture at the Braemar Games. And yes, he was a true Scotsman. He was not wearing undercrackers. And you can see a photographer. It's on the internet. And believe me, it's not for the faint of heart. If you once seen, you can never unsee the picture.
So did you go to the photographer with his kilt, go take a picture of that? Look at that.
I think he was manspreading, with the legs open. He had no underwear on. A paparazzi got a picture. Well, not
zoomed in.
Just a normal person at the Braemar Games got a picture, and you can see all his dangly bits and pieces.
Oh, you see the royal jewels.
I saw a meat and two veg. I'll tell you.
The royal jewels.
Once you've seen that, you can't unsee it. So actually,
can't see it,
I've seen Prince Harry naked because of the. There's a fly buzzing in my face. I've seen Prince Harry naked from the strip poker pictures. I've seen Prince William's from when he was having a wee outside at a polo game. He was pictured.
Yes,
it's a real photo. It was before all the AI stuff.
Before, porta cabins, porta toilets.
No, there's a fly. It's buzzing around. Keeps attacking me.
Keeps attacking you.
Maybe Meghan sent it over.
Yes.
It's a Meg bot. She sent a radio controlled fly.
Little fly drone.
It's a Meghan drone. It's a Meg drone. So I've seen William's and to be honest, he's quite a shower.
Is he?
Yes, it's quite sizable.
Substantial.
It's a substantial size, which is why I think that the pegging stuff is a complete.
Yeah. I think they just make it work, don't they?
And then I've seen the Duke of Edinburgh's So
haggis.
On my list of royals,
you saw his haggis.
I saw his haggis. So on my list of royals that I need to see naked, we haven't got King Charles.
No.
And I haven't got And believe it or not, the one that you'd think would have his bits on camera is Andrew. And I've not seen that.
No.
So there you go.
Maybe he hasn't got any bits. Maybe there's no bits left.
Oh,
he's worn them out.
He's worn them out.
Worn them away.
Andy's worn them out.
See, that's what you get. You'll use it too much. It wears away.
It does wear away. Ooh, before we go quickly, I want to talk about Catherine, the Princess of Wales, at Balmoral Church. It's a fly touching my tiara. We are under attack.
Well, you are.
Meghan's attacking.
My tiara is keeping all the flies at bay.
Meghan is attacking.
It is. It's a Meghan drone.
Oh, it's a Meg box.
It is. It's like, where's the... Hang on.
Maybe if
I haven't got a fly squatter.
Maybe if I give myself some wind.
I'm going to chop him. Where's he gone?
I don't know. I think he's buzzing around me. So, Catherine at Balmoral Church, really quickly. It was nice to see her out and about.
Yes.
We didn't see much because there was just a picture through a car window screen, which looked well.
Yeah.
We also saw King Charles and Camilla. He looked quite healthy as well. Got a bit of colour back into his skin.
Yeah.
And there was
pasty, wasn't
the Edinburghs were there as well. So it's nice to see them all up at Balmoral having some relaxation, which I think they need after this annus horribilis.
Yes, I think they should leave Kate to sort of like recover and recuperate and all the rest of it until next year.
Yeah,
I think it'll be January-ish.
Oh, yeah.
She'll start,
I think
takes a long time.
It's a long process because she I think she had to wait for the operation to heal a bit, the initial operation.
Yeah.
Then she could start the treatment. I think it normally takes about 6 months.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if that happened let's just say she started treatment in February. You've got March, April, May, June, July, August. So maybe she's just coming up to finishing the first course of treatment. And then you've got to kind of recover from that.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm thinking April of next year.
Probably, yeah.
In terms of timescales, because then they've got to do loads of tests, and if it hasn't got everything, then she'll have to do it another 6 months.
Or it might be a more invasive course of
and of course we don't know exactly what. I mean, I think it was said she's having chemo, but there's chemo tablets, there's chemo on the drip, there's different types, and we don't think she's lost her hair because.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
No, I don't think she was
I don't think she'll be having the chemo.
I don't. It's hard to tell. We literally don't know because we've not.
I know that if you're having chemo and you're worried about losing your hair, they put this ice helmet on you. So it's this helmet that is, and it's sort of plugged in, and it's really icy cold. Because then that freezes your hair follicles, which stops. Full of knowledge, which stops the chemo that you're putting in. It stops it getting to the hair follicles.
I've never heard of that one.
It doesn't always. You still will lose some, but it's quite painful to have this ice. It's almost like a block of ice hat on your head. So I think I would just go. No, I'll just.
To be fair,
get some.
I'm sure Catherine could rock the bald look if she wanted to.
Oh, absolutely! She could rock anything.
She could rock it. Yeah. But also there are so many good hair pieces and wigs and things.
Oh, and they'd have the best.
I mean, for all we know, she could be wearing a hairpiece on the occasions that we've seen her, because these wigs these days they can match your exact hair color. Cut, everything,
real hair
with a good lace front. You wouldn't know.
You could have a good weave.
And you would not know. So who knows? She may even have one. I don't know. But I think the one thing we can all agree with is that we want her to make a speedy recovery. In her own time.
Yes, absolutely.
At her own pace.
Yeah,
not having
just take
pressure.
it easy and ease back into it.
You've got to think about the kids as well, because they're going through all of this and. Whatever, they might hear things at school about what people are saying about their mom and dad. So they've got to be very careful about what they release to the media, because that could get back to the kids at school. And, it's all a bit...
Smart,
They need this time privately.
Yes, they do.
To We are under attack. Meghan is at it.
She sent the drones.
She sent the drones.
She sent the drones. Off with her head. Off with her head.
What do you think Meghan's next little plot is going to be?
I think it could be...
Do you reckon it's something to do with the Netflix? Because apparently, the Lemonade podcast streaming company that bought the rights to the Spotify podcast that she put out, Archetypes.
Yeah.
Well, Lemonade Media bought it and is distributing it.
Okay.
But they were supposed to make a new series this year, but because Meghan's doing the Netflix thing, they've said they'll put it back until 2025 or 2026.
Netflix have cancelled it, haven't they?
They haven't necessarily cancelled Harry and Meghan at the minute. I think they're trying to damage limitate, and they're trying to try this cooking thing that she's doing with the dog biscuits and the jam and all the rest of it, which I think will be a complete flop.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think once that's done, I think they'll be dropped by Netflix, and I don't think there's anything particularly forthcoming with this Lemonade media thing.
No, I think she's just going to keep on throwing herself around the country and trying to drum up.
I think there'll be more of these
popularity as she can,
like fake royal tours. I think there'll be more of that.
Yeah, like that Colombian one.
Yeah. Where's next? North Korea? Where's next? North Korea?
And to Siberia.
Maybe Russia?
Yeah.
Maybe Putin might invite them
I know.
over.
Iceland.
Iceland.
Where the volcano's going off. Go up there, love.
Maybe she should go into Vesuvius.
Yeah. Yes, could we do that?
Now, do you know where I think they'll go? I'm going to put it out there. I think Brazil. I think South America.
Out of Peru.
Maybe. No, I do. I think.
Yeah,
I think Brazil.
She tends to sort of like want to target them types of countries, doesn't she?
Yeah, because she wants.
Because she
wants
knows
that
we're Brits and Americans are pretty much done with her.
Yeah.
And France isn't bothered.
No, France has got their own concerns at the moment. Yeah. So France is. Yeah. Right. How are we doing the time on your time? Right. I think we are almost.
We have 21 seconds.
That was a good premonition, wasn't it?
Very good.
If you've enjoyed this episode, whatever it was, then thank you for watching. It really does help if you give it a thumbs up and a like and subscribe and share and all the rest of it. I think we're going to continue making some royal episodes.
Yes,
maybe every other week or something of that nature. Or maybe we'll integrate it into the podcast. Yeah. I don't know. We could even try some royal recipes and maybe do some cooking or something.
Yes. What about like old royal recipes?
I've got a cookbook of royal recipes, so we could have a little look into that and see if there is.
We're not doing anything with a pheasant.
No,
because he's going to be out there.
I'm not
running around after a pheasant for days.
We can have a duck from the pond.
So you're not coming in till you caught that pheasant.
We can have a duck from the pond. No. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and of course, do hit that bell,
ding ding,
so that you know whenever we upload a new video. So from us, to you all, and goodbye, my lovelies.
Bye.